this cultural shift is something that needs to happen in a lot of businesses right now, where you've got so many people who are disengaged, and there is absolutely a reason for that happening, but a lot of it plays into the emotions of the employees. So, why does culture play such an important role in how we interpret and express emotions, and how can shifting it help us navigate our lives with greater intentionality?
Well, in some ways, culture is the most powerful shifter that exists because it's ever present. We are bathed in it. It is like the air we breathe. And what does it mean to be a part of culture? Well, culture determines our values and beliefs. So, do you think you can control your emotions? Do you think you should control your emotions? Culture is influencing those values and beliefs that we have about emotions and emotion regulation. Culture is also providing us with norms. Norms are rules, both spoken and unspoken, that guide our behavior throughout our lives. And so culture is shaping the norms that govern the way we behave on a moment to moment basis. Is there a norm in your family or in your organization for talking about emotions or bottling them up? We have norms for all sorts of emotional behaviors that are then impacting us and those around us. And then culture also can give us practices, tools that we use to manage our emotions. Rituals, as an example. Families have rituals, organizations have rituals, some of which are designed to help us manage our emotions. Families, we often teach our kids and our loved ones how to manage our emotions. Employees, bosses, mentors are constantly mentoring those beneath them, ideally, with how to deal with adversity. Adversity, by definition, an emotional experience in those kinds of organizational contexts. So, culture is the kind of what's the word I use for they use for this in the book? It's the big kahuna of shifting. It's impacting it at every level. And the reason I think it's so important to start thinking about the role culture plays in our lives is because, on the one hand, you're a parts of different cultures. So if you understand what culture is, beliefs and values, norms, practices, you can start getting in there to maybe push the culture around in a direction that you think is more beneficial for you and those that you love. If, though, you find yourself as in part of a kind of culture that is toxic with respect to emotion and emotion regulation, and there's not much you can do about it, you can make the decision to leave that culture too. And that is a noble decision to make when that culture is working against you. And I think thinking about culture through the lens of emotion regulation makes it a lot easier for us to start reasoning about how to change culture, when to join new ones, leave them, and so forth.